Hello, and welcome back, everybody, to CommunityFoster. It has been a while, about 2 months since I last recorded. Let's see, April, May, June. Yeah, a little over 2 months, actually. Actually, it's getting close to 3. So it's been a little longer than I thought. I haven't stopped playing this world since I did my last recording. But I decided I just wanted a little bit of a break from recording to just play by myself and keep grinding on adding to the village, and it's been long enough. I decided I might as well get back into the mood and record another video. I've got some progress to show off, as you can probably tell by this map. We're nowhere near done still, but we're a lot closer in a sense. We've started branching into other areas of the map. There's a lot that's happened in this time, though. I'm going to have to catch you up on using these logbooks on what's been going on. Part of the reason I stopped recording also was there's this weird audio glitch in the game. Well, at least there was. Is it fixed now? Is this... I didn't think this audio thing had been fixed. Maybe it has. Huh. Unless it's one of those things that happens periodically and then fixes itself. I haven't paid enough attention to it to realize that or not. But anyway, part of the reason I stopped recording was that, because you can hear in the April Fool's video, when you look down on a block, it's loud, the walking. When you look up at the sky, it's quiet. And directional audio is kind of choppy, especially if you're just kind of staring straight like this. So I stopped and hoped maybe they would fix it by the time I got back, and maybe they have. But even if they hadn't, I figured, well, I could be waiting forever, so I'm just going to get back to it anyways. So maybe that's fixed, and if that is, that's great. Because that was really annoying. Didn't matter what you listened to with headphones or speakers or something else. Just an issue with Minecraft itself, as far as I'm aware with. It didn't even seem like restarting the game did anything either. But anyways, last thing I remember doing on the April Fool's Day video was working on the villager boarding house over there in the Savannah sector. I'll have to find which of these has that written down, but since then we've done a lot. It must be this. Is it this one? No, this is too far back. This must be it. Or is it? I had to count on my finger what month is the 4th and that. So it actually is this one. It's just further up. Also, a new thing I noticed is this little button thing down here on the pages. This little flip button change. That's kind of a nice touch. I don't mind that at all. So April 1st. That is... Huh. No, I'm paying attention to the wrong numbers still. This is 21. Okay. I was on the wrong book. I forgot about the year. Let's see. Here we go. I must not have logged that day for some reason. Oh, no. Okay, I recorded it the 31st. It came out April Fool's Day. Alright. So yeah, we did that. The next session, which this is when I stopped recording, was I finished more or less the boarding house and did some farming and trading, so nothing too big there. Just 1 second. Just 1 second. I'm going to get a drink of water. That's better. Okay. So that wasn't a big deal. Next thing we did, farmed and traded some more. Bought some more glazed terracotta for the wall. I don't know if I already mentioned this, but I don't know if I mentioned this or not. But anyways, long story short, can't find the black or the stonemason that sold us the black glazed terracotta, so I've decided we're just going to use multicolored terracotta to build up the wall, because that's just more practical, unfortunately, and necessary. Don't know if I mentioned that before, but just in case, side note, that's what I'm talking about here. You can actually see on this map the lower right corner, part of the wall's black and part of it's green. That's the green terracotta. Anyways, so then it must have been 6-12, so we had like flat out a solid month we didn't play. I forgot about that. Must have been busy with other stuff. I wouldn't be surprised. Let's see. So yeah, I started a wool farm. All that is I can climb up into the. Oh hi. This is another problem. We have villagers finding their way down in here, and that's something I'm gonna have to talk a lot about, is how the villager pathfinding needs some serious work, because it's kind of lackluster. But anyways, that is the sheep farm, or the wool farm. It's just where we used to have cows or whatever way back when. I just decided it's empty space, I'm not using it for anything right now, so I'll just turn it into a sheep farm, because wool is pretty useful for trading with shepherds, especially when you have more than one. So I made that, nothing too big, but very helpful. And there's a cat down here too. Crazy. Let me show you outside. I can show you the world from the other room. Alright, fine, you can just stay down here. Leave the door open. Okay. So, jungle sector and wood farm. I didn't specify that one. That must have been some of the first housing I built. Maybe carving out some more path. I've had to clear out a lot of jungle, and I want to put some back once I've figured out all the buildings I want planted, but for the time being, it's a lot barer than it used to be. More sheep. I built a big fountain in the jungle region. I'll have to show you that. It's nothing too fancy, but it's a nice centerpiece. I built a bridge between the savannah sector with the boarding house and this jungle region that I've been carving out. Very nice, very helpful. Really happy to have a bridge there. I'll show you that too. We got a Mongolia tree. We got it from a wandering trader. I've decided, at least for the time being, I'm not really interested in making a wood farm from the Mongolia trees, although it would be cool to have that wood type. I'm just gonna stick to not doing that for now. I just cleared out some space by the big storage facility. I think it might be B. It's the one with the large farm, kind of northward. I cleared an area around that and placed a tree. You almost can't recognize it from the rest of the jungle unless you look. Shortcut from savannah to plains. What am I talking about? Savannah to plains. What am I talking about? Oh, okay. So there's a section in the savannah. I'm just gonna put this in this hand for now. In this lower left region, where all the savannah stuff is. There's a walkway I've built, you know, over the ocean and some cave houses, blah, blah, blah. And underneath that, there's a sandy beach with some cool stuff. Well, there were villagers wanting to get stuck in that area, and honestly, there still are. So partially in an attempt to make their bad, arguably bad pathfinding work for them, and just to make an ease of access for myself, I carved a little bitty, almost invisible shortcut against the wall from where the river, if you look at the sandy region down there, there's an ocean on the left, and then there's a small sort of river on the right. Well, there's some lily pads across the river. That's the bit of tinge of green pixels in there. And then there's just a hole carved up against the wall through that bit of the hill, and it just comes out right behind those dark oak houses farther east from there on the other side of the hill. So that's what that is. That's just a note to myself about inspiration. I kind of decided on some of the jungle structures and just further structures, period. Let's go old school for historic sake and because it's easy. Let's do some old style jungle houses, or village houses, that is. I'll have to show you that. We got some dripstone from a wandering trader, which is great because we can use that to decorate cave-like areas, which I've already started a little bit of that. I can show you later. We set up not really a farm because it's not big, but we do grow a tiny bit of dripstone for future use. Clearing more jungle and making a path. That's been a whole hours and hours just on that. Clearing jungle and making a path and trying to figure out how and where I want everything. And that's just on the bottom. We haven't even gotten to the tree tops yet. We won't be there for a while still, I think. Trading, of course. We finished on the 19th. And at least paving the path. We placed some fish in an aquarium. I'll have to explain that a bit. Traded with a wanderer. Connect reminning. I think I must have misspelt that in my tiredness or something. Making path to connect remaining sections of world. That's basically more bridges and path, and it's really nice. And I don't even have anything built out there, but I'll show you that too. Sand. We dug out some sand from the desert that's in the far top right corner of the world to kind of smooth the terrain out for building houses, and because the wall is a bit too high or too low in some places. I've already done a bit of fixing on that, just a little bit, and I'll have to show that off. But there's still a lot of this wall when this village is done that's going to have to be worked on. So that's a future project. We straightened the desert out a little bit. Bridge. Let's see. Fishing and traded. Didn't do a lot that day. I think I was only on for a tiny bit of time. More bridges. More houses to the jungle district. Some of them the historical look. Farming. Decorating the jungle. And lighting it up. Jungle housing. Melon farm. That's decorating. Started construction on another big workshop area, which I'll have to show off. It's kind of, you can't really tell, but that never gets old. It's on the map. You can't really tell where it is unless you know where it is. I'll show you the shop later. It's in the let's see, it's the northwest corner of the world. Oh yeah, we've got jungle villagers now. Native-born jungle villagers. So that's awesome, because you hardly ever find that in regular vanilla Minecraft without doing the kind of work I have. Jungle skinned villagers. But since we're building in that area, they've spawned, and there's a couple of them now, and there will be more. And I'm very pleased with that. It's just cool to me. Yeah, and then the villager pathfinding. I say Bedrock, but it's actually a little bit on Java too. So it's just villagers in general. As great as they are now, they still need some work. Okay, then farming and traded. This has to do with villager pathfinding again. I removed the blast furnaces and the barrel from the mine hub in the hill because they just keep trying to pathfind to something they shouldn't even know exists. And they're still trying to pathfind to something else through the mountain, even though it's not even in the hill, so that didn't seem to change a whole lot. Oh, we completed the 1,000 emerald achievement. I'll have to show you this. So, I've got this emerald turban thingy, which is kind of cool looking. I've always had this, this is the skin I'm wearing right now, just kind of for the heck of it. It allows for an interesting look, I'll give it that. I've always had this emerald suit coat, and now I got this hat, this turban I should say. So the achievement, the suit coat was earned a long time ago. If I can find that one, it's down here a ways. There we go. The Haggler. You gotta acquire, spend 30 emeralds by trading with villagers. If you do any of it at all, that's fairly easy to get. And that's cool. But this is the big one. The Master Trader. Trade for 1,000 emeralds. And this is specific because you can't just... If you trade with emeralds for an item, it doesn't count towards this achievement. It's only emeralds you earn by trading. I had to learn that, and that makes it a little more difficult, but as this lightning keeps going on, I finally made the achievement. By far, most of it, if not all of it, was made in this world, so yay me. Now we got this emerald head wrap thingy. That might be what it's actually called, a head wrap, but it's kind of interesting. Initially I was kind of like, huh, but I think I'm growing attached to it, and I like it. It's an interesting look. And if it means I'm a big money man, and all the villagers see it and are like, oh, I gotta trade with him, then that's great. It's good business. We're not done. I forgot. So, we got that achievement. Awesome. Very proud of that. Jungle Shop. That's something I'll have to explain a little bit. Then that book ended, so we've got 3 down here now, and currently, what do we have? Just a few pages. 4th of July, built another guest house for way in the future. If I have people playing on this world, then they'll have some houses. I want a few guest house for players in this place so they can camp out here if they want to. And I've got some ideas for more places for other guest houses. Ooh, there's a lot to catch up on. A large part of this episode is probably just going to be catching up, but that's fine. 3 houses in the jungle. I marked the jungle farm a little bit better. You can see it on a map, but you can also, in person, it's a lot clearer where that starts and the village ends. It's just a little line of birch, kind of sandy white, sandy yellow, on the west side of the wall, kind of up in the jungle region. You can see a little bit of it from this map, but that's what it is. What else? Farms, updated maps, trading, more jungle villagers, more housing, This was funny. I wish I had that on video. I added, of course, a couple new meeting points in all this expansion stuff. And I'd say I think we're probably at this point in time, if we're not already there, we're pretty close to having the full village, or the full area of this small world classified as a village territory, so pillagers and raids can't just spawn in it on a whim, which is a good thing. But we'll just keep building like it isn't, for safety's sake. So I was riding under one of those new bells, and I think the second I stopped riding, or maybe while I was riding, he just popped right into existence in front of me, and that kind of startled me. But anyways, started digging out the shop, flushed out the wall like we did in the desert. Basically more or less finished construction on the shop, unless we want to decorate it or something. Rearrange workstations. Moved the horse, Cinder, into the shop stall. And we got a pig named Bart, and moved Bart into the shop as another steed. And I actually got an achievement, the When Pigs Fly achievement, shortly after getting him. It was sort of an unintentional thing that made it happen. I was trying to get him inside the apartment of the garage shop, and he wouldn't fit through the door, so I tried to turn around, but he fell off the stairs. So that was inadvertently earned, but oh well. So it looks like getting Bart was the last recorded thing we did. I did actually a few other things I haven't written down, just because the amount of time I've played didn't seem substantial enough, but I can go over those too. It was basically building an old school library and maybe a few other things. I think the other things were I started mining just a bit, just for the fun of it, and also a little bit of resource gathering. But of course now I have to repair this pick, so I've been going around collecting XP any way I can to repair tools, and in the process collect meat to sell as another way to repair my tools. So yeah, that's where we're at now. I guess I'll just keep walking and show everything off. So we come back here. This is where part of the jungle village starts. So we got a few bit of housing around here that are like part of these trees. The trees are actually in the center, and in some parts of the village, I think the trees even make up a bit of the roof. Yeah, like in here. So it's kind of an interesting feel. I just kind of did whatever. It's not especially pretty. I don't think I really care whether that's a good thing or a bad thing. I tried to be a little bit more fancy with this. These are villager houses carved into the hill. And beneath these two houses is a shop. This is where it gets frustrating. So here's the shop. This was just a natural little pool of water that sometimes generates underground, and I lowered the level of the water and then put this down here, and thankfully it looks like we've got a fair amount of people wanting to work under here, and one guy kind of stuck. But what I was trying to do is I had some stairs that came down right where this dirt is, and outside it was right about in here, I think. So I was just like, oh yeah, cool. Villager house there, access to the shop right there, right? No. Because every time, not once, every time they wanted to come down here, they would actively walk right into these houses if they weren't confused enough to just not know where to go. They walked into these houses which had a solid floor and would try to pathfind to it this way, which I guess in a sense had some logic behind it, because this is a lower point out down there than it is out here. But there's no way you could even see it through this, or at least there wasn't. So they would just be in an endless loop of finding a job that was down here, trying to make their way, getting stuck in that house or this house, losing the job, and nobody ever ended up working down here. So as much as I hated not having this, and instead having this shop entrance in these people's houses, which is kind of weird, that's just the way it had to work for this design to happen. As you can see, they seem to be able to work that out fine enough, but they couldn't make this simpler one a thing. But anyways, people can get down here and work. That's all that really matters in the end. And I thought they fixed that sound to actually be the smithing table noise. But hey, that's fine. Anyways, we got dripstone down here for atmosphere, and we even get a little bit of drips, it sounds like, which is cool. And really quick before I forget, we just started a simple dripstone growing thing over here. It's an ugly thing temporarily attached to this lighthouse. It just grows dripstone, so we could place more down there over time. I might make something more out of it. In fact, I could probably grow it down there in those mines or something like that. That would be pretty sweet, but for now... No! Well, that's a pickaxe repaired, I guess. For now, it's fine. It suffices. So I got this well, which is also a little bit of a natural underground thing. But no one gets stuck in the well because there's just enough room that you can jump out if you fall in, even if you're a villager, so that's good. More housing this way. Cute little abodes. More struggles for the villagers to actually find a way into, like, this upper room, which this is a single, so that's not an issue, but you're supposed to come back here, and yeah, it's a little janky, but you can still technically get in here, but I guess not if you're a villager, so I don't even think anyone sleeps in there. It's a future problem to diagnose. More housing. The interiors could really use some decorating, but, like, structurally they look okay for now. And then we've got this little sort of market meeting area. Here's the fountain I was talking about that I built. I'm gonna turn the music down some more. I like it, but it's just a bit much. Okay, so fountain with the meeting place bell, so everyone gathers here in the jungle part to converse. And it's got these two little streams that even lead from the fountain into the river right here, so that's a neat little thing. If you're out in the water, this is kind of what you see. Just a nice little idea I had. Melon patch, stands. That's a mangrove. Did I say Mongolia? That was a mistype in the book. I don't know why I thought Mongolia, but it's a mangrove tree. But here's one of the sapling sprouts, whatever they're called. Fancy shops, more housing, more farms. Ocelots everywhere, which is great. Over here, this is the bridge that heads into the savannah. It's a... Come on. It's a nice and simple structure, but I kind of like it. Even as a flat bridge, I kind of like it. It's so nice to just be able to, in like 3 seconds, be over here, where before I had to climb up and down and swim. And the iron golems can even use it if they want. So, that's nice. This, I've marked out this tree farm so you can see it's just wherever there's this birch stairs is basically the boundary of it. I'll come back to this jungle later, but there's some this way I actually have to show you. So, you come this way. You come this way where people are working and doing things. Okay, so I think the pickaxe is healed. That's good. So, people still sometimes get stuck down here. Stuff happens. But, like there's a guy or two over here that are still stuck. I'm gonna kill that squid because I like that mooring sex. It seems that there can be things other than fish down in here, but it's a lot rare and harder to find than the fish. Like the dolphins and turtles and whatnot. But at least they don't despawn just by running into the wall like they used to. Anyways, this is the shortcut. You just go across the lily pads like this man is doing. You cross over here and you could technically find your way over there, but this is the real shortcut. It's just a narrow little path through here. And it pops you out in this direction right behind these houses. And you can just, this little bitty worn path that's almost invisible if you don't notice it, just pops you out right here and you're good to go. So that's that. I think I can head back to the jungle now. I do believe so. Of course, I believe we've probably gotten a few more iron golems as this village has gradually continued to expand into the jungle. I gotta find one of these jungle villagers somewhere. They, funny enough, haven't seemed to stick around, just like everyone else, in the area they were born. So, trying to find one is not as straightforward as you think. I suppose I'll get to it later. So here's some of the new houses up here. They're old school, except, at least these two are. This is like the old hut that used to be here with the table and everything. So that's that. And then you got this old, simple block small house. And a farm, like you used to have, and I think it might still be a thing. This is just one I sort of custom made for whatever. It's a bed, but you also got a little workstation back here for a librarian or something, so that's an interesting place. Then you come under this bridge, or hole really. This is a purely sleeper house. It's just got some beds, that's all it is. And you got this little arch with a bell, so this is another meeting place. Confirmed that it works, because that's where this is where the wandering trader spawned right in my face. Underneath here is the shop, and that's my cat. I'm actually gonna have Brownie follow me. This is the shop. We've got the horse and the pig here, and I'll explain why in a minute. You got a couple of workshops. Again, it's nice, but it kind of looks a bit bare. It might just need some decorating and whatnot. And if you look up here, this is a little aquarium. We got the pufferfish from wandering traders, and the rest we found in the ocean. So that's a cute little thing you can look up at. It was originally here. It's been here. It was just this little pool of water. I threw some fish in and put some glass in the bottom so you can look at it from the shop. Here's a jungle villager. He's a fisherman, and I've traded with him apparently, selling some fish. So, ain't that neat? Look at that fancy spotted jungle skin. So back in here, what I'm planning to do, I think, in the future, is having these two mounts in here, this Bart and Cinder. I'm going to make this a door, a redstone door, that I can just ride my mounts out on an adventure and then come back in this way and ride them back in and put them in the stalls and be back home. And it's not really going to be a villager door or anything. It's just for me to come and go with my mounts. So, but I'll be right where I can trade if I need to. So that's nice and convenient. I don't know if you've noticed, but if you remember how thick the jungle was over here before, you'll notice it's quite bare, quite open. I left a bit of a section down here just mostly untouched to preserve some of it, and again, I'll be replanting what I can as time goes on. Back here, this is an old school librarian house, or just library. It's technically not complete, still needs a few bookshelves up here, but otherwise, it's got the old look, the table, the chairs, the crafting table. Added the lecterns so you can actually work here as a librarian. So, still need to earn money to buy those because these bookshelves are kind of expensive. This is the guest house I was talking about. I just threw this up for the heck of it, and my first structure using some deep slate variant, and most of this is actually brick walls instead of blocks. So this is guest house B. Pretty simple. I'm gonna have you sit there for a minute. It's simple and bare on purpose, so you can do with it what you want. Just some furnaces, a table, a bed, a map that's actually technically not part of the wall, but it's there, and you can see where you're at, and you can see where copies of the maps are. The old orange house that I first built before I built the garage, I'm gonna consider that a guest house too, because it's funky for villagers, but I'm not really living there either, so it works out that way. You also got a bit of a basement, just where you got some empty barrels and chests for whoever wants to take up residence here. So just a cute little house I built for whoever. And I got some building materials out here because there's still lots to be done. But I built this bridge. Kind of not expecting how I expected it to look, or curve especially, but it's nice and it works just great. Dark oak bridge. So it dumps you out over here. And this is where the birch forest is for the birch farm, which also connects to this entrance to the storage facility. So you can come and chop wood. And then there's a birch bridge. And this connects you to the desert over here. And yet another bridge. I got a road out here. I might add a little bit more in this region, but I haven't figured out what I'm going to do here yet. I want to use some more old style village houses and maybe even a blacksmith out here just for the heck of it. So we'll see where that goes, but the walls, you can see the old line where this diorite is. That's how the wall used to be, but now it's deeper and it's flatter here, so more ideal for building. And I'm gonna go ahead and take this cow out for the sword. Still needs some more XP. Oh, there's another one. I can sell this beef too and get a few emeralds. The leather's nice. Although I might just sell it. I don't know. We'll see. So I got this oak bridge, which is nice, and it connects you over there. And up here, there's a little orange sign, and what I'm planning, I'll just crawl up here if I can. I should probably have my cat sit down here. So I've kind of marked this hill as Guest House C in the future, and what I'm planning is there's going to be, I could have like some villagers living in this or something, But the upper section, at the very least, is going to be like a big two-person apartment where a player can live. And they'll have... if I'll climb back up there, I was just there. Whoever lives here, regardless of what they think of the inside, I would think should still have, if I can get up here, quite an impressive view. If it comes out like, I don't know, here, that's not a bad view. There's lots of trees in the way, but I mean, there'll be some houses in the way once we get to this upward section, but it's not bad. You can see a lot of the wall and gives you perspective. But yeah, pretty unfiltered view of the sky. And underneath that, at the bottom of this, I'm considering putting a tunnel that will go through this hill, and where it will end up, if I go this way, it will go underneath this, and it'll basically just be a road that takes you out here and then crosses you over to here, or maybe even over here somewhere. And this little hill, whatever I make of it, this little all by itself section, is the future location of Guest House D. And it's almost like the opposite. It's like somewhat restricted sky view. You can't see much of the wall and you can't really see anything. But if you want to stay kind of hidden and off the map and secluded to your own island, you've got it. You've just got your own little space here. It'll probably be an underground thing or something, but we'll see what becomes of it. Because otherwise, it's just kind of sitting here looking cute, but unused. Was there another one? Let me see. I've got A, B, C, D. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think that's it. So I think, at least for the time being, maybe even basically for good, I'm not certain yet, those are where the guest houses are going to be. So 2, actually 3 over here, kind of in a line, and then 1 way over there. Not for the villagers, just for players. So I built this bridge, and then all I did was, of course, you can go up that chute, and that's like a player shortcut to that section of the village, or I just linked it up with this part of the road up here. So it'll just take you through this jungle part. This is still going to be sort of reserved as whatever. It's just going to be a fishing hole and something else perhaps. But that just takes you over here and back into everything else. So that's what all the path has done. What else? Oh yeah, there's a few other things. I gotta remember as I go what things I have to show. Let's see. I already said it, but I guess I'll just show it. In which case, you'll want to sit there, kitty. So, I guess while I'm here, I started digging in the gold, I call it the gold level, but it's really the middle mines section. I started expanding it, particularly this way. I think I went just about as far as I wanted to. And then I've started going this way again, I think. I believe so. I think I've got it. I think I have gotten a little bit of gold out of this, but it's mostly just coal, iron, and the occasional gold. So, yeah, it's a thing. I should mention this. I have a future plan. I guess I'll get this thing out of the way first before I mention that. So, boom. No more blast furnace. No more barrel. Just a chest for the torches, because villagers don't care about that. and a crafting table. And that's basically because it's not really necessary. It was just convenient to have them up here. Because I've got 3 blast furnaces in the garage that I never use, so I figured, why don't I just use those for all my smelting of ores and just cart them back up here. It's not that much of a big deal. But anyways, what I was planning is, I like this minecart system and it's pretty neat. However, I was thinking what might be cooler is at some point switching this out for a what do you call it? Some sort of a water system, a water transport system where I can just drop items into some water and it'll just shoot them down a pipe, basically. A little trough of flowing water all the way to the storage unit where it'll get dumped off and then I can just pick it up and put it in or something like that. I could leave a cart here if I wanted to or something. I don't know. I'm not quite sure how it'll work. I'm just thinking the idea of a water transport system would be cool. But that's a future project, and we're definitely not getting to it today. Probably not even for a few episodes, because it's not really our main focus. We're not too concerned about mining right now. I just kind of did that for fun. And I didn't even do as much as I thought I would, so. Gotta love this music when it's not blasting in your ear. So, yeah. What else have I forgotten? Well, I'd like to do some business. I don't know if I should do that with him because he's gonna get locked into it. If you're like this guy and you're already done deal locked in, then I don't mind doing the trading. I don't have any rabbit. To find more butcher. Here's another jungle villager. Looks like an armorer. I haven't even traded with him. He's just determined to be an armorer. There's a butcher. Hello, sir. Yeah, I figured there was already a pork chop too. Gotta look elsewhere for one of these butchers. Maybe I could look for Tanner. Have I dealt with you before? Nope. How about one I know I've done? You. You look like you're looking for an upgrade, sir. Welcome to Apprentice. Yeah, sure, I'll take one more. So now I can sell you flint. Flint's good business if you can get a lot of gravel. And actually, I think I've basically filled up my storage on gravel, so I'm gonna have to start turning gravel solely into flint or something because I've got too much of it now. Or almost. I'm stocked. Basically stocked. So, Brownie's back at home, which is nice. There's something else. Oh yeah! The tree. I've got this Mongolia tree, or mangrove. I'm still calling it the wrong thing. Yeah, I wonder if... Hold on a minute. I want to solve this for myself. I want to look up... I've heard that word before. It's got to be a real tree. I just Yeah, okay. But that's definitely not the same thing. That's like a pretty almost Japanese looking flowering tree that like turns, I don't know how I got pigs in here. It turns, it's got flowers that turn pink or something. Definitely not the same thing. It's definitely not the same as a swamp tree. So I planted one, and that's all I've got for now. And it's over here. That's it right there. I just planted it on top of the hill for reasons. And I think it's actually growing saplings or something, which is a curious, propagales they're called, which is a curious, you can see its big roots here. It's a curious feature that must be kind of unique to the tree in the game, because the other ones don't really grow saplings, they just drop them. So I'm kind of curious if these can be harvested, but I'm also somewhat wary of breaking my kneecaps, apparently. I'm somewhat wary of breaking them and realizing they can't be replaced, because they're a cool looking detail. Man. Well, I broke that one. Oh, it worked. I kind of wish I could put that back. Oh well, I guess I've got one now. So that's a thing. I guess I can put these tools back now. I might just toss this extra meat in the storage unit, storage facility, because I could run around looking to sell them all day long. Let's see. Put you back in there. I guess I can keep a piece of leather or something. Got a piece of wool, feather, ink sac. Propagale I keep in here. Yep. I think my scaffolding is still at the construction site. I think the next thing I need to try and do is buy bookshelves to finish that library in the jungle sector. We're seeing a few pandas around here, that's for sure. Look at that guy. Look at him rolling into the pond. What a fun guy. Let's see. Got pork, chicken, and lamb, mutton. Definitely got enough raw meat to sell some if we want at some point. So, I think I know a few places I can look for librarians who want to sell bookshelves. I had this, I found this librarian once for like a split second who wanted to sell me a mending book, and I would have traded with him, but I think he got lost and lost his job, so unfortunately that never happened. But it's whatever. You win some, you lose some. Can't hold the people to the job they couldn't hold. There's another guy around here. I don't know if he's still doing his thing, but it was like he got a Smite 4 enchantment, which that's actually pretty good. But I still didn't bother because it's spendy, admittedly spendly, but I was too busy doing other things. So we need 3 more. They all seem to sell bookshelves for the same. Oop, 9 emeralds. So that's what? That's 27 emeralds. So I guess we gotta get to farming, assuming our crops are ready for harvesting, which over here looks like they might be alright. Can only do so much harvesting before you have to wait again for everything to grow. Yeah, see, there's still a little bit of green in here. I can harvest it, but I don't like to until everything's basically grown. How does it look from here? Well, it looks close enough. I can probably do it. I'm going to get another drink of water and then I'll get right to it. Alright. I'll tell you what. It is getting hot where I live. I also, you might have seen it in the logbook, while I was on that spree of doing stuff and not recording, I also found and tested a resource pack out. That, excuse me, could be interesting in the future if we're not interested in earning any achievements at some point, which has unfortunately to be the case, because even though it's just a sound pack, it functions by modifying the game with a behavior pack, so the game won't allow that and achievements to persist, so it's kind of stinky. But all it was basically an ambience sound pack, so it's just noises playing in the background based on the biome and the time of day and a few other factors, which is pretty cool actually. Like it if it's nighttime, it can change to like crickets or stuff, and in the daytime there's like birds and whatnot depending on the biome, or like wind in the desert. And there's actually even some atmosphere for just being in a cave, which has some kind of creepy stuff in it too, which makes it thrilling. It's too bad. It's awfully. It's kind of funny how, you know, nether biomes have ambience, and I mean it's cool because it makes it more atmospheric and creepy. But meanwhile, in the overworld, I mean, you have some like cave noises and whatnot, but mostly it's just quiet. I'm actually not sure if that's better as a mod or as a game feature, because regardless of how good or bad it is, it certainly would change the game. But it's kind of nice to have those things. It's not perfect, but I didn't think the pack was too bad, actually. I don't think I'd mind playing with it fairly often, I think, if I wasn't so concerned about achievements on a certain world or something. Because, I mean, I couldn't have gotten this emerald thing done if achievements weren't working. notes for that. The moon is full. I do believe I now have more than one potato farmer. Maybe even 3, which is cool. More people to sell to. I think I've edited my to-do list book a little bit as well. See what it says. Oh, hello. Right. I want to make a specific area in the jungle for fishing, particularly along the water's edge. I already talked about the water-based transporter. That's another thing I wanted to do. There's so much lightning around here and so many lightning strikes. I figured I would go to each of the 4 towers of this city's walls, and right in the center of their sort of decorative spiky thing, place at least just a bare lightning rod to attract lightning there, because I figure that would be helpful and useful, but also kind of cool looking, just to have lightning striking the towers. So that's a future thing I might do. In fact, I could maybe even do that this episode if I really wanted to. Let's do some selling first. Yes, I've got carrots. And I've got pumpkin. And that's all you're gonna get from me. You. Here's a potato farmer. More where that came from. Okay, and that's that. Wheat farmer. Making us a farmer's market here. Now, let's find some others. I think we've got a couple additional beetroot farmers too. Okay. You still haven't restocked, sir. let's see. So I got a man who buys brown dye, of course. But I've also got a man who buys brown wool, so none of them seem to be in here. I think I know where one of them is. Not sure about the other. It's a beetroot man. Not a melon master though. I don't know why it is. I don't know if it's just the crop they had on hand or what, but it sure does seem like all these villagers want to replant, despite my efforts, are carrots. I don't know if that's a bug or if that's just what they happen to have a lot of here. I mean, if that's what they like. This guy likes the brown wool. Yeah. I'm not sure where the other guy is that likes the, 1, 2, 3. That should do us for that. I'm not sure where the other guy is who likes the brown dye. Hello. Axe maker. Oh boy, are we gonna have some children? Looks like it might not have happened or something. Anyways. What I'm looking for is back here. Okay. Well, I think I can say this is officially complete. Ain't that dandy? I bet you've never seen a naturally generated jungle librarian house. Of course, this one isn't either, but it's not natural, but it looks the part. So now if I can find where that shepherd is, that would be most lovely. I guess while I'm here, let me put a few things away. So we've still got a fair bit of building to do on this village. And I think I'm not going to touch the upward trees part of that before we get done with everything on ground level. This is the man. He takes brown wool and he takes brown dye. Get you some more, sir. Okay. You can also sell him green dye. I forgot about that. I knew it was someone. We can also sell him red dye too. Which, that's another thing I learned but did not realize was a thing in the game. So I guess we all learn something new every day. But didn't realize that if you bone mealed a certain type of flower, it would grow more of it in that same area, which is a really cool thing, because that means I can propagate flowers like this and have more of them, which is very nice. Surely somebody wants a melon. take more wheat. Got more dye stored. I guess I'll bake these potatoes. So just how many can I make with this? Probably not a lot. Nope, not a lot. So I'll just take these back to this storage facility once I'm done. I think once this is done smelting, I'll take the food back to storage and I will probably work on the lightning rods just because they're simple. Granted, we're probably going to have to venture just a little bit out of village territory to do that because of how copper was introduced after this old world was generated. So it won't be far and it'll be underground, but we'll still be technically outside of the walls. I would really like enough so that I could build. I almost think I should build a bit of a spike or a spire with copper blocks and then put the rod on top or something. I wonder if I can put that on iron bars. That's something I should actually look at. But I'm thinking in the future, if I make the pole tall enough, I might even put some sort of flag out on that, which would also be really cool looking. So that's another future consideration. Because I have a very small amount of copper compared to everything else. Just a few blocks worth or so. Because I only found it by digging at the edges of the world where it met with the infinite terrain. I've also taken a sneak peek at what this infinite terrain would look like if it was if this world was plopped into the same area, but with terrain of today's standards, because it has changed a lot since I was forced to prematurely make this infinite. And boy, would it have been different from where we are now. It's like similar biomes, question mark, but it's like kind of plopping us almost on the edge of an ocean, which would have really weirded things out. So I'll need a pickaxe. I don't really want to use wall builder for it. So what I might do, if I can find the right villager in the morning, is just buy a stone pickaxe off him, because I think that's all you need to get copper. Nah, I better do that first so it's done. Have to try and guess where these... Actually, I think I know. I might know where the pickaxe toolsmith works. I think it's over here in the jungle. Once he gets down here anyways. I don't think this is him. This is someone else. He's a hoe guy. Interesting. I wonder if he switched places. looks like he has. Potentially. Well, maybe not. I don't know. Well, I guess I'm gonna keep moving then. Maybe it'll happen upon him. I'm just gonna search. Oh look, a kid. So there is a newborn. That's a toolsmith, I think. That's the axe man. That's a different guy, I believe. Yeah, an armor. Stonecutter. Creepy cave noises. Nitwit. Two nitwits. Hello. Yeah, you're the man I want. Thank you. Close the door in his face. Say, let's check on this guy. Oh, he's dude I've done business with one time. Alright, so before I get too involved in the copper, I think I want to check and see if what I'm thinking might work will actually work. And actually, I should check, is there such a thing as a copper wall, as in, like stone walls, stone brick walls, things like that. Is that an actual thing? I'm not sure. It might not be a thing. But I'm going to take some iron bars and test out this concept. Some of the copper I do have. I think I'll just grab the copper I have and take it. Crazy. People have been fantasizing about copper for so long, since it was a mod in the game. And here it is. Not quite what they were expecting or probably even hoping, but it's a thing. So, okay, yeah, no walls. So that's out of the question. But now what I want to know is, we got a lightning rod. Ooh. And that's like perfect. It's like the same thickness and everything. I think that's what we're gonna do. Wonder if that's supposed to happen. Weird. Texture turns red. So I guess technically I don't have to mine any of them. I still probably will, though. I still probably will. Let's see. Yeah, I think I'll mine some more. I guess I'll keep the bars on me. What I might do is make like a few blocks of copper as the base inside the tower. And then do so many iron bars up for the actual spire itself. Was it up here I seen some copper? And then put the lightning rod on top. I know down one of these I seen some copper. I don't think I mined it, but I seen some. Here we go. Might have been more than once, but probably just gonna dip into wherever there's a cave system exposed and look for copper that way, because it's the only way I'm really gonna find it. And I think there's one exposed down here in the middle mines. And we've got so much to do. Even I'm talking about like after the city's finished. We've got so much stuff to do. It's gonna be awesome. At least that's what I'm hoping for, and it kind of expecting. Because I haven't hardly messed with any of the new stuff since I've just mainly been focusing on this. This was the new stuff. The new and cool stuff. So which one of these is exposed? I think it's probably in the opposite direction of where I'm going. Well, no, there's one here. That'll do me fine enough. There's some copper. Somewhat of a precarious situation. I don't really want more gravel either. I might just stick to this. So even though this is infinite terrain, it's also technically old terrain as compared with the current. Even that blackstone, I think, or no, deep slate, even that deep slate I think is technically old, because I think when they were testing it out, they had it generate in clusters before they made the whole layer. Interesting growths down here. Mushy rooms. Some. Might get a couple stacks of this to make sure I have enough. There's some dripstone. I don't want to stray too far. Again, it's really the only way to go, so. This is where old lobby level used to be. And I don't think that's ever really happening again. Perhaps it's kind of a good thing then that we've got some old terrain here, because we can kind of use it as a reference in comparison to the newer stuff. what it used to look like versus what it now looks like. Even that's only partial because this was like in the transition phase. Some deep slate coal, which is like almost non-existent now, because coal doesn't really I don't think coal generates in the deep slate layer, so the only way that is like even an existing block is like maybe very rarely a patch like tips into it. Kind of like with the iron, although you do find deep slate iron. I think it's just also not well, I don't know. Maybe I'm mixing them up in rareness. But like deep slate coal is almost non-existent. It's crazy. It's like the opposite of diamonds, where diamonds are now almost that startled me. Deep slate diamonds are like the norm, and finding regular ones in stone like the old days is like unheard of almost. It's like the opposite for coal. You find them in stone all the time, but deep slate, it's like, what? Oh, I came this way. It's like right here, it's like, no way, man. I'm not gonna mine it just for that reason. And I think we'll venture into another cave. Although there's copper here, it's like, I'm a crybaby with dealing with gravel, at least now that my chest is full. If my chest wasn't basically full, I wouldn't care as much. Kind of getting touchy too. Well, I'd say that's basically it right there. That's nice. I give you one thing: when you find some copper, they sure don't want you to leave empty-handed. You really find some copper. It sure doesn't seem like something that's hard to mine. I mean, you find it pretty often, maybe not so much in deep slate, but you find it pretty often above that. If you're at any deepness, really. You drops multiple pieces from one block of ore. You can mine it with a stone pickaxe. Which is pretty good. And now I go this way to smelt. It's like another storm's a brewing. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Sight you'd never seen before. 3 blast furnaces a cooking. So, now I can just build some more of these. Just need one more. And then I'll put this material, this stone stuff away. I might want to grab my scaffold too. That would be this direction, I believe. There you are. Left a few other tools in there. This is why this new path and bridge I've built is so nice, because I can just run around. I don't have to think that hard about what way to go. Pandas. And no matter what direction I take, it's almost always certain to eventually link up to one of my storage complexes, like it does right here. That's just like an added shortcut to the already nice roadway system. Up there, going away. Chewing away at the ores. Chickens seem to be doing pretty good. We're building up a stock of eggs as long as we don't really touch or mess with it for a while. I'm not sure what's going on with this, where there's a couple patches of kelp. It's like it has this problem with the water, and it's like generating a phantom image of the kelp on the water. instead of the water texture itself. It's kind of funky. Only with select pieces, too. Very strange. Yeah, like there's one there. Just one. And then there's 4 pieces in a row over here. And then way over there, it's like, what, another 3, 4? It's like another 3. Yeah. Weird. Weird. Perpendicular. For some reason, the birds seem to get stuck up there and then somehow break loose. And I don't know what they're supposed to be standing on. Can't even tell if it doesn't look like they're moving. Doesn't look like they are. But I've seen them there get stuck more than once, and then a few days later they're just free and flapping about. Crazy things. Okay, this one's done. These ones are just about there too. Look at the variety here. We've got a plains, a desert, and a savanna armor here to work. Crazy stuff. Big crazy. Alright. Block time. Well, we got a few blocks. Let's see. Split up between the 4 of them. That's 5 blocks. I think we'll be okay. I think that's decent enough. You're not really going to see the base necessarily, but it's going to be there. So I guess we'll start with that one because it's closest. Build this little structure. Sure looks epic out there. Look at that. Look at that. That's gotta be where... because I remember it looking like it went farther in the distance last time. That's gotta be where the old train stops and the new train meets it. Crazy. So crazy how all this looks. And will look. Temple over there. Stuff over there. It's not a bad looking mountain. Probably got, maybe even have some powdered snow or something. And of course, an outpost there and an outpost out there. It's pretty neat. Can't wait, but the village requires tending first. I don't know if I should start from out here. Yeah. I think that just makes it more complicated. We'll start the scaffold from out here. Say right here. Hello. Forgot we put torches up here to keep monsters from spawning. We may need a replacement block. Could use glowstone, but I'm kind of trying to reserve that for... I could just move the torch, but I'd rather probably have it be part of the base or something. Could do a jack-o'-lantern, but that's kind of funky. What could I do? Trying to recall light sources off the top of my head is not the best thing. Maybe I'll look this up too. Solid block light sources in Minecraft or something like that. Okay. There are some blocks, but none of them, at least the brightest ones, aren't accessible to me, or would look weird, probably. Except for glowstone. I might not have a choice then. I might have to just use some glowstone. Unless I just want to put more torches up here or move it around. I think I'll use glowstone. It'll only require 4. But of course my stock so far is limited. Careful not to place these wrong, or I'll have to get a silk touch pick, which I do have, but just more hassle. Now I gotta get down from here. Wow, I took no damage. That's another odd thing I've been noticing is half the time I won't take fall damage. Crazy game. Now I want to see what that looks like from multiple angles. Is it flattering or is it ugly? Oop. Well, it looks okay from up here. Barely notice it from down here. Hello. Nice stuff. Let's see. Let's go a bit farther. In fact, let's go to the lighthouse and see from there. That'll give a good far away perspective. And nah, I better keep it night. I still want to go outside and see what it looks like in the distance. With the glowstone as another light instead of the torch. Oh, hello. Don't you want to go to bed? Yeah, shoot, from here, granted it's night, but from here you can barely even notice it. Huh. That's what I was hearing. Drip, drip. Now what we want to know is, I'll be curious to see what it looks like with a flag on it, but we won't be doing that this episode. See what it looks like from out here. In the great beyond. Oh man, this city looks so cool at night. The giant wall. Well, same story basically. It's there, and it doesn't seem to be bad. It's just there. But what about the glowstone and copper from an angle where you can actually see it? From here you can't see it yet. If you go far enough, now you're starting to see it. Kind of hard to not notice the scaffolding, but actually, I don't think that's necessarily a bad look. I don't know if I like it as much as when it was empty, although I can look at that one and probably guess. But I don't think it's bad enough to really worry about it. Maybe that one. It's kind of hard to tell from here without this. Oh, well, I mean, it's a thing. I don't think it's that big of a deal. So, I think it'll work just fine. Should be able to duplicate that in the other three corners and maybe take a picture if we can when it thunders again. Striking one of the towers. I think this is the only scaffold left? Got this. Yep. Okay, so 5 blocks plus the glowstone, and then 10 blocks of iron bars and the lightning rod. Alright, next one. So I guess I can say now that by technicality the wall's gotten a lot taller. This is quite the view from up here. Even better than the rest of the wall. That's that wee abandoned village that I want to fix up sometime. And look, an ocean monument. Fancy dancy. Wow, that village is pretty close to that outpost. Anyways, we're not focusing enough, so can I make this? Oh, because if I had missed, that would have been worse. Making up for that one time we didn't take any damage. Alright, and onward. I gotta pull this. Yeah, now we're reverse sprinting. It's hard to tell if reverse sprint jumping works too. Kind of hard telling, I'm not sure. Almost looks like it doesn't. Let's try this. Let's get this out. Come on. I had it for a second there. Come on. You can just barely see it from here. You can just see the lightning rod, that's it. But yeah, I suppose that looks alright from here. Even more grander or something. Alright. More to go. Ooh, crunch. last one. And my, a little bit of overgrowth have we here. Can't have a tree being like that. This one that's already taller than the wall is kind of a not so good thing. Should probably be chopped down later. I wonder if we want to put some, that just occurred to me in the future when this wall's done, I wonder if we want to put some iron golems up here to patrol it or not. It's an interesting idea. They'd be stuck up here. In fact, we could put them on the second level too. They'd be stuck on both levels, but hey, looks cool, and if there's ever somehow a monster in there, at least you got a defense. Probably not necessary, but it's an idea. Oh, I climbed up here. Well. And there we go. What an astonishing view. That's quite the thing over there, too. It'll sure be interesting. Once we're past all this, it'll be quite the thing. Quite the ting. Alright. Well, down we go. One slap at a time. One squelch of a slap at a time. I'm almost feeling daring enough to What an adventure. Alright. And then we're basically back to what we had before, like 2 blocks and a few ingots of copper. But that's fine by me. We got our lightning rods built. Yeah, from a distance. Like in the daytime, you can barely see them. It's not like obvious enough to seriously change the overall look. Like there, you can tell something's there, but actually only the rod is visible and the bars have become invisible. But you can tell there's something there. There's that. So, we can cross that off of our to-do list, and I think I will do that before I end this episode, just because if I don't, I usually forget, and it sits there for a while until I rediscover it. These bars back there. It's a little bit of iron spent as well. Okay. Alright, let's see. Bap, 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 bap. Okay. So. 3rd, 442. Eh. Cough. Cough. I cough everyone up. Okay, let's see. Okie I ought to mention this, because this is some of the stuff the previous days I didn't do that I ought to catch up on. I mind a bit. Was there anything else? I think it was just trading. Okay. I'll just say pickaxe. And was there anything else I did other than these lightning rods? I don't think so. Don't think so. I think that's that. I think that's pretty much everything. Alright, well, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. And I do believe, well, I'm not sure if next time will be the next time I play, or if I'll wait to record again for a while. I don't know, it kind of really depends on how the pacing's going, because I am busy with other projects. But whatever that is, I'll see you next time. Take care.